Hey there, dancer. It's Miss Brittany here. I am very happy that you are still getting to continue your training from home. And today I wanted to offer you something that you can do 3 times during the week. And I would tell you, I'm actually doing this on a Sunday, so I will be doing it again on Tuesday and Thursday. I usually like to put one day in between and do it every other day when I'm working on strength training 2 to 3 times a week and stability training, because it's going to help our muscles get activated and get engaged in the areas that we're focusing on, but it's not going to overload them to the point of making us really sore or causing any injuries. So 2 to 3 times a day and giving yourself that every other day setup is going to be a great objective for working through this little core exercise that I am very, very happy to be offering you guys today. So you're going to want to actually grab onto, and you can see I'm already utilizing a block. If you have a Pilates ball, even if you have just a roller, you don't have a block or a book, something that'll get you focused on what you're doing with your arms and your upper body is a great way to start. We're going to keep this off to the side today, but we're going to start right down on our backs. And we're going to just think about the activation and initiation and the movement that happens in our pelvis. So I'm going to move this to the other side. Taking a nice deep breath in, you're going to think about arching your back. And if I move this hand out of the way, you'll be able to see a little bit better. I'm creating some space under my back. I'm lengthening all of this area. All the muscles in my abdominals are getting a nice little stretch and a lengthen. And I'm activating my back muscles, those core stabilizing muscles in the back of my body. And then as I exhale, I'm going to think, I'm trying to curve through my spine now. I'm going to try to press my sternum, my rib cage down into the floor, pressing my tail to the ceiling. I'm trying to find an activation of my front body, and I'm lengthening and I'm trying to release my back body. And we're going to try that again. I'm going to try to keep this arm out of the way so you can see what's going on in my back. Taking a nice deep breath in, trying to arch through the spine, and I'm not just allowing, just my low back to sink. I'm trying to press my ribs to the ceiling as well. So I'm creating this arch across the front of my body. And then I'm exhaling to curve. And not just focusing on my tail here and tucking my tail under, I'm really pressing the center of my torso into the floor. One more time, inhaling, open, open, open. And you can keep your arms right down by your sides here. And exhaling. From here, we're going to take our arms to first position. Just finding that low first position. So for when I'm standing, I know we get a lot of different placement of telling us where our first position is. Here's where I like to put my first. I like to think first position about the height of the belly button, just slightly higher maybe, right between where the center of our rib cage is, or our sternum, and in between our belly button. So right about in the middle of that. The reason why I like to do that is when we go to balance, it helps us keep our shoulders pressing down and gives us a lot of activation through our back and our core. But when we go to turn, if our arms are too high, momentum might push our arms up. And if our arms are way too low, if they're lower than our belly button, they're going to push our arms down. Now, it's not to say that it's not possible to turn like that, but it's a lot more work. And if you're working through a basic pirouette, it'll be much easier for you to work kind of with the momentum that's being built around your body and within your body if you keep your hands more towards the center of your torso. That'll help balance everything out and help you stay active. So we're going to work through this lower first position here. You're going to take a nice deep breath in. As you exhale, you're going to try to bring the upper back off of the floor from the shoulder blades. Try not to work your neck too much. Bringing the back of the fingertips are going to come and reach towards the back of the thighs. As you exhale, inhale all the way back down. Exhale to reach those fingertips to the ceiling. Coming all the way up. Exhaling back down. Rolling all the way down. Through first. Bringing those arms back down to first position. Exhaling, reaching to the ceiling. And you notice I'm really not doing too much with my arms, right? Or activating my upper back too much. It's really about my belly here. Exhaling. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, trying for one more set. Exhaling, exhaling. Inhaling back. And exhaling, reaching to the ceiling. Inhaling back. Beautiful. So hopefully you're starting to get a lot of activation through the front of your abdominal area. That's what we're going to focus on a lot today, is getting your abdominals to activate. And you do have 4 different sets of muscles in your abdominal area, and we're going to try to get to work them in a couple of different ways today. So next we're going to bring our knees to our chest. We're right up to a 90-degree angle. Let's start right here. Hands down on our sides, taking a nice deep breath in. As you exhale, you're going to try to bring your knees towards your chest. Inhaling back, just to that 90-degree position. If we go a little too far, we'll start to really invite in our hip flexors and our quads to work. We're focusing mostly on our abdominal area today. So we're going to exhale, think pull knees in, inhaling back out. Exhale, pulling knees in, inhaling back out. Trying 3 more of these. Exhale, pulling in, and inhaling out. Exhaling. We're using our breath here because we're trying to work with the movement, right? Trying one more. Exhale because you're contracting your body. You're bringing your legs closer, taking away space for air. And then inhaling because you're making space for air as you send your legs away. Last thing we're going to try, if you grab onto your blocks, and you're going to send your legs straight to the ceiling. Now, your legs don't have to be straight. Your knees don't have to be straight. But you want to keep those legs up. And for the sake of not tiring your legs out here, I'm going to keep my legs a little bit bent. I'm going to grab onto my block. I'm going to put it right between my shins so I get a little activation between my with my thighs, and it'll help keep my belly working a little more too. If you start to feel some overworking happening on the outsides of your thighs here, totally fine. Move your block. No big deal. So I'm squeezing those inner thighs, just trying to get some activation and stabilization. And you'll notice if you squeeze a lot, the block's going to wobble. So you want to try to keep a steady balance there. Taking a deep breath in. One other thing I want to note as I'm looking down at my knees, our tendency might be when we squeeze to let our knees drop in. That's going to work our inner thighs and our internal rotators. We're not trying to work our rotators at all here. So I want you to make sure you're keeping your knees facing towards you and not letting them drop in. And if you have really quick firing internal rotators that like to work more than your external rotators here, you can think slight rotation in your thighs. That's totally fine too. We just want to stay away from too much internal rotation because that might aggravate and start pinching our hip flexor a little bit more. So trying to maintain this stability. I know it's crazy, right? All of these things we have to think about. Imagine how much hard work goes into dancing. Imagine how much better you'll dance if you're thinking about all of these things, right? And it doesn't have to be overwhelming either. I know I'm laying and talking to you from the side today, but it doesn't have to be overwhelming either. The more we start to think about these things little by little, the more it will just become second nature to our body, and then we'll have developed better habits to help us dance better and limit our injuries going forward. So, keeping our legs up and over our head, we're going to go try to exhale, try to just gently tap onto our knees. Coming all the way back, I'm going to keep my hands right in front of me so that I don't let my arms come this way, and I release all of this in my belly that we just started to work on. Exhale, trying to reach towards my shins. Inhaling back. Exhale, tapping the knees. Inhaling back. Exhale, tapping the shins. Inhaling back. Try 2 more sets. So I don't really work my arms here, mostly my belly. And then as I try to reach to my shins, I'm extending through those arms a little bit more, getting a little more action in my belly. Last set. Exhale, knees. Inhale, exhale, shins. Inhale. All right, hugging that block, relaxing for just a second, letting your legs come down on the floor. We're going to try 2 exercises from a seated position to work into our external rotators a little bit as well, and really working our back and our front core stability muscles. So you can come right on up to seated. Being on the floor does some fun stuff to my hair. So we're going to come up to seated with our feet flat on the floor. Pay attention to what's going on with your hip flexors here. If you feel any tension or gripping in your hip flexors, you can lengthen your legs out a little bit, or maybe take a second and pause the video and give your hip flexors in the front of your hips a nice big stretch, or roll out your quads before you come into this exercise. So we're sitting up nice and tall. We have the block in front of us, and we're just using the block to help us be aware of what's going on in our upper body here, still focusing on our abdominals. So we're going to take a nice exhale and try to sit back. We're coming off of our sits bones, trying to make this little boat shape through our abdominals. From here, seeing if we can take one hand off the block and try to twist and reach the block away from us. Inhale, sitting up nice and tall. Exhale, trying to reach and twist. and inhaling up and tall. And you'll notice too, I'm not trying to get the block directly behind me. I'm really reaching out to the side so that I'm opening through my chest versus trying to contract and twist and just look behind me. So I want you to try to keep length and opening. Think more going on a diagonal and less trying to go right behind you so you can keep your back nice and long. Exhale, reaching and twisting. Inhaling up. Exhale, reaching and twisting. Inhaling up. We're trying 2 more sets of these. Exhale, reach and twist. And again, you don't need to a block to do this. You can do this with a Pilates ball, any of these exercises. You can do this with, I don't know, any type of ball that you might have in your house, the soft and light. Even a book, if you have a nice thick book that you can use, that's just going to make you aware of where you're putting your weight. And inhaling back up. 1 more exercise. We're going to go right into it. Sitting back into that little rounded boat banana shape. Inhaling all the way up. Keeping the shoulders down the back. Trying to press our chest and our belly forward. Sitting up tall on our sit bones. Exhale, sitting back. And you'll notice here I'm trying to keep my legs relaxed, right? Inhaling up. Exhaling back. Inhaling up. 1 last time. Exhaling back, 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 back. Inhaling up. Lengthen those legs out. Take a nice big dive out and over your legs. Give yourself just a second here. You can take as many reaches forward as you need. So again, this is an exercise routine for developing your core stability. And your core is not just about what's going on in the front, right? Not just about your six-pack abs, right? It's about that whole area of the center of your body, front and back. And these exercises will help you start to develop some awareness of that and also start to build your strength to control your stability and support all of the movements of your spine. So I noticed that my hair is a little bit crazy after being on the floor, but that's okay. We're home and I'm still happy that I got to do this with you. So I hope that you can again visit this video about 3 times during the week, 2 to 3 times a week. Once you're done, you can really do some stretching to the side, trying to release the front of your stomach a little bit more, releasing any tension that might have built up in those muscles. Make sure you're drinking a lot of water and keeping yourself really well fed and well nourished during this time. If you have any questions about any other ways that you could work through your abdominals and stabilize your core, reach out and I will check you guys on the next video.